welcome back to Tifosi Time, your Serie A podcast coming live 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch and YouTube. Direct competition to Monday Night Football. Watch out, NFL.
We got them.
We're what'd you say, Dan?
We got them. We're gonna
We got them.
outrate
We
them.
got them by a couple million viewers. And last I heard is all their car sponsors are thinking about jumping ship and coming over to Tifosi Time. So we have a couple more slots. You'll have to fight. Send your blind bids in to FozyTimeMoneyGrab.com. Um, anyways, I'm Frank.
All
I'm
right,
here with
done.
Dan, Chris, and Pietro. Say hello, people. We got some.
Hey,
Hi guys,
What's up?
hi Tan.
Look, time out really quickly. Already Putin in the chat is giving Juve shit, and I agree they suck.
I agree. Thank you, Puna, for getting us kicked off. Also, for those of you that don't like watching four white American Italians on screen, go listen to the audio version. It's available everywhere. And also, our producer's yelling in our ear, subscribe to the darn show. You know you love it. You don't have to hide it anymore. Just subscribe. Hit the like button. Do it. All right. That's all I got. All right, let's start the show, guys, because we have a lot of complaining to do.
Well, there's a lot of games that actually talk about this week. Last week sucked. There was no good games, and this week there were actual good quality soccer that was being played. And I'm not counting Juventus Napoli because that game sucked. I'm talking about other games, but we're gonna start with Napoli Juventus, right?
We are, because I feel like we're gonna have obviously a lot to say about this. Let me just tell you, I am on a streak though this year. Every game that I watch, I pick the worst game of the week. I feel like the least entertaining. So I continue my streak in week 3 with this Napoli Juventus game. So let's just quickly. Everyone knows, I'm sure at this point, Juventus lost to Napoli 2-1. Who wants to kick us off on this tremendous expedition of soccer that we watched over the weekend? Who wants to talk about this game first?
Just let
All right.
Pietro rant. Just let him
All
go.
right, guys, let's start to talk, right? I have nothing against Allegri. Allegri, he stay and like 20 years ago or something like that. He went to just to not to lose. He went to just to not to lose. All right, we play with 6, 7 people which are not titolari, but that's not the way to play. When you play defense, sooner or later you get a goal. And I cannot even say even the Napoli attack us. We let him attack us. We didn't do nothing to go, on that part of the field. We didn't do nothing at all. Now, when you play defense, Allegri used to 1-0 and win, right? But he forgot that time he had a nice team, good team. He had the Buffon,
So
Barzagli.
we should mention, for those who don't know, all the South American players who were on international duty, they were all rested. They weren't even dressed. So Allegri was shorthanded in his selection by his choice. He chose to rest all those
Yeah,
people.
you don't try to get a point. You're going to defend yourself with that team.
Mhm.
I don't even think. I think you're giving him too much credit by trying to insult him in a way by saying he went there defensively, right? I think like that almost suggests that he tried to make some type of tactic for this game because he was short 6 people. I think what we saw was, listen, if you remember back to when even Allegri was here the first time, we criticized them winning the championship, not having much play. And now what we're seeing is 3-4 years later on, the roster's gotten worse. The players have gotten worse. Allegri doesn't have a play 3 weeks in. We still don't have a way to play. And Napoli didn't do much, but they did enough to keep us from having 30% possession. The only time we had a couple shots on goal. One they gave us when we scored, right? That they gave away to Morata. And in the end of the day, we're seeing a Juventus that, quite frankly, is not a good team, and a coach who's mediocre because he's not making them any better. He's not going to make them better. Because, yes, he had people missing, but even his changes in this game, Bernardeschi playing the entire game, Kovalevsky not coming out, the types of changes he made, He didn't make them any better.
When Kulusevski starts playing well, Frank will call him by his real name.
That was my promise I made this past
He's got to
season.
earn that, so he still has not earned it.
My prediction was he will be playing in another jersey before I learn his name.
Listen, I agree with you guys, but like, look how many useless players are on this team. Like, absolutely useless.
Guys, we didn't play with 6 titolari, right? But the thing surprising me, Dalit wasn't even the start.
Yeah.
I know he's not playing well, but it's his fault too if you don't play well.
Yeah, so Chris,
it's a latter's fault.
Go with your thought about the useless players thing, because I want to jump in there too.
So really quickly, DeShilio should not be on this team. Useless, absolutely useless. Bernardeschi, useless. Pellegrini actually like more than Sandro. So I wasn't even.
Well, but here's the thing with him, and this is his bugaboo, is that he gets one chance and he gets hurt after 60 minutes. Like, you're ridiculous. I'm sorry. If you want to play, play a full 90 minutes at least. So that's for him, I'm pissed off about that too. Like, that you get your chance and you can't even play 90 minutes is ridiculous. But go ahead.
McKennie didn't have a good game. Kulusevski didn't have a good game. All of them. Locatelli's the only one that I think is like, don't even get me started on Chesney. Oh my goodness. Why is he still playing?
Yeah. So I think you made a great point, right? And this is what so the team is what it is this year, right? Like if they have a great everything works out for them, they might get the 4th spot. I truly believe that. I don't think they're gonna challenge for Serie A championship, anything like that. But what we're looking at here, this roster, these players, really have to go back to Agnelli, Paratici, Nedved, right? Because this is the roster that from years ago, when you look at, when we lost Pogba, Vidal, Tevez, right? When we had a good team, Pirlo, we replaced them with Rabiot and Ramsey and DeShilio and Sandro and these people that we can't get rid of. We're stuck with crap, right? And unless you have some grand K of a coach who's going to get, amazing play out of crap, this is what you're going to get. This is the team. We don't have any great champions on the team. We don't. Dybala, they're going to lose him for free. He doesn't want to play here. That's why they didn't sign him.
Oh God, it's doom and gloom. It's over.
No, but let's be real. The team, the people running the team have not reinforced this roster with quality players. They haven't, and when they've spent money, they've spent it incorrectly. They've overpaid. They've missed opportunities to get good players that they could have gotten for a cheaper price, and they're stuck with inflated salaries they can't get rid of. Older players, people that are here doing their vacation in Italy, making $9 million a year or whatever they're making. They're on tour, right? They're getting their pension courtesy of Juventus. And, we're still stuck with our best player being Chiellini and Locatelli and Chiesa. That's what we have. Chiellini's 37. Our best players are Chiesa and Locatelli that you can build around.
Yeah, so really quick, going back to the game too, though. It's like
it's frustrating. You forgot about Dalit, which is killing him too.
Yeah, they are killing him. They are killing him. Dalit's a good player, right? You can't dispute that. But here's where again I can blame the dirigents, the people in charge, right? Juventus is not PSG. They don't have endless money. So they did that, okay, we want to get Dalit. He's a great champion. He's going to be the next Chiellini, Bonucci. We need him. We paid $85 million. To me, that's the equivalent of going to get Ronaldo, right? But not having the money in the team to put around him. What's the point? We have an $85 million defender that we don't even play now.
Don't compare Ronaldo with Dalit. Ronaldo, they thought we were winning the championship for Ronaldo. But Ronaldo, if you don't put a good team, he cannot do nothing by himself. He does his goal. That's what he wants to. But Dalit, you have to see Dalit, the transformation he did. First of all, he played the way he used to. He's like the press. Plus, second of all, with that team, Allegri think too much. Maybe you think Malmo, maybe they think in the next game. Doesn't matter fact already, the formation, Chiellini is out to play against the Milan. Yeah, but when you already don't have the Argentine, the Bala, everybody, everything is people out. I don't think the Chile is better than the lit on the right side.
Mm-mm.
With his, you know, perform that he has, I don't think it's better. So
Well, let me ask
you
you
get
this. Here's another
yourself
criticism
in trouble.
Here's another criticism of Allegri, right? Okay, you don't have Sandro, which again we all agree. I'd rather see Pellegrini grow into the role than Sandro, right? But okay, you don't have Sandro, you don't have Quadrado. Why not play Bonucci, Chiellini, and Delit three in the back?
Well, he didn't
You
want
know
to change the shape.
you have to change the shape. You know the midfield sucks anyway. An extra person in the midfield can only help you. Like what?
But when that
What is it
extra
going to take?
person is Ramsey, is it like
But
great,
that's what
wonderful?
I'm saying. I mean, Frank, that's what I'm saying. Never mind the three defense or four defense, the model of this. You put your best player. So if you think Stascillo is better than the elite, in poor less form than whatever it is, it's the form he has. I don't think it's the right thing to take.
I don't think he thinks Delit Deschilly is better than Delit. I think he doesn't think Delit's a fullback. It's the only thing I could guess.
Yeah, I don't think he
Right.
wants to
Right.
put him. I don't think he
The
wants
only
to
thing
put
I
him
think he thinks he
there.
doesn't think he's a
He
fullback. I
play
think
all
he
the
thinks,
time on the right side. You can
yeah,
play with four him on the right side, or you can play with three on the right.
but he plays
With
with
the elite,
three on the right
Bonucci
side.
can lead.
But he plays with three. It's different. It's that same
Hey,
conversation we had. It's
so
like Bastoni.
if you do the elite, Bonucci can lead. You can do that.
Yeah, you can do
So
that.
so
But
what to play with four? You put the Chilean and you
I
put the
think
elite.
that's what he did. Honestly,
I honestly don't think it matters when you got Chesney behind them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because if you didn't watch the game, a weak shot from outside the box, a curler from Insigne. That first of all, Chesney, three different things on this play. His footwork was atrocious, shuffling his feet, crossing them over, terrible to get to the side. Gets both his hands on it, bats the ball straight down to the ground for Politano to run onto it. Chesney can't get up in time and get back in position, and it's an easy goal. He gave them he lost points again for Juventus. Plain and simple. That's twice in two
You
games
see
where they lost points because
that
of him.
shot, the tiro a giro,
Yeah, it was a shit shot. Don't give me that. It was terrible.
see, open goal, I would have paid with my ass. I would have. Right.
So, and here's the thing: the
Would have
position
been with
where
my ass.
Juventus,
So a
the
goal has to
position
see.
where
If he's in a show, he can block the ball because it's the shot is too hard. He put the hands and put on the corner. I mean, he may give a
he's
corner
not good.
kick.
The point I'm making is Allegri is going to live and die with Chesney when the position that they have depth in and they're actually good in is goalkeeper with a capable backup. He will never give him a shot. And that's
well,
that's
okay,
bad
so
management.
so I'm not even that sure. I think you're right, Dan, but I think it might get to the point where they have to give Perrin a shot. And honestly, Perrin is not worse than Chesney.
He's not.
He's not. Chesney's just been an international goalie, so he has higher stature because he played on Rome.
And Perrin is injury prone. He's injury prone, so he'll get hurt every once in a while, and that's why people can't trust him
What
and
do
all
you
that.
mean, Frank? But you don't trust Perrin?
No, I said Perrin is better, is just as good or better than Chesney. But I think
Perrin, all the injury. Remember, Chesney been to 3 times. Last year was not that great. And the national team is not that great. This year is not that great. You don't excuse him. I hate all the people, all the soccer players that the goalie they play say, I should give a chance. No, I would not give a chance. I would say, you rest, take a rest, 2-3 weeks.
no, listen,
Because you're not informed. I cannot risk to have a shot at you to score because that's why you're not going to call it. We don't get the score.
I think there's a few reasons you do it, right? Yeah, I know that you don't want to be seen like you're blaming one player, right, as the coach, but you also have to send a message to the rest of the team. You perform, you play. You don't perform, you don't play. We have
how you think the people feel with the goal like that in goal?
I think they probably still think he's a capable goalie, but I think they're probably
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. They lost confidence. Like
every time the ball get there, catch. What do we do now?
Yeah, but I think that more importantly, like if Perrin is showing anything at all in practice, right? You have to play the players that are in form. You can't just go, well, no, it's your spot no matter what you do.
But over here, we don't talk about the form, dive or not. He's not with the head.
That's part of form, though.
So here's my thing. it's kind of
Chesney's now with the head, so he cannot play like that.
it's kind of mixed
He should have
messaging.
realized himself and say, I did all this, that side, say, give me rest.
Okay, it's a little mixed messaging because how many times have we seen Dybala? They say he's got to earn his spot. He's got to earn his spot.
Yeah,
Chesney hasn't earned crap, and he just gets to do whatever he wants. Like, how is that fair to anyone on the team?
We are there just for him. How many chances you have to give it to him?
The real
If anyone might say, if you not put me now, when you put me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real frustrating thing about this game was it's not like Napoli played good.
No.
Yeah.
They could have won this.
So, yeah, I want to talk about them a little bit, too, because the two chances that Juventus actually had, one, Morata, the only time he touched the ball, he scored pretty much. And then the other one, they gave the ball to Kulusevski on a breakaway, and he, the goalie saved it. That was really the only chance.
Another thing, so let's talk about you put a kid and take Morata. Why?
Yeah, it was bad.
Well,
Ragazzi, pure
I think it was really funny. Sampdoria, I think it was a
control Bernardesco Kulusevski out.
I think it was a Sampdoria game, like it was 2-2, I think. And he put in an extra forward for the last 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, he put Torregrossa in.
Yeah, he didn't take out his forward.
Well, that was different circumstances too, because Sensi got hurt and he, they were down a man enter, so they wanted to go for it. I can understand, but that's good coaching. He would recognize the situation.
So what does that say about Allegri? He couldn't find a way to put Keane in and keep Morata. Not that Morata was doing anything special, but he had to leave Bernardeschi and Kulusevski in the entire game.
First of all, if you put a kid a year to point up, you give him more trouble to Napoli.
Yeah, right? and he only gave him 10 minutes, which he should have got more time than that.
If you take Morata, put a kid and just have one, still one.
And let's also say, like, again, McKennie, right, which I believe in more than some people. I think we all kind of believe in him here. He's playing like crap right now, but there's also no role for him. Like, he doesn't have a position in the field. They got him playing like forward on the right side. He runs to the left. Like, he's not involved in the play. It looks like you run around wherever the hell you want. Like,
and then another thing, Keane, what he was doing there in the corner kick? Leave someone up.
Yeah,
well, he comes back.
Everybody has to defend.
Yeah,
come on.
They want people good in the air and in the box.
What good
what you were saying, Chris, about Napoli, not like they were world beaters this game. I agree. I don't think Napoli was all impressive. You can look at the stats. You can look at possession
Napoli
shots.
didn't impress.
The only player that impressed me was Anguissa. His first game ever. He tracked back. He controlled the midfield. He passed quickly. The rest of
that guy, because he was a play by himself.
That's the thing. I think it had more to do with our midfield.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But at least he was impressive. Good. The rest of the team, nothing special. I didn't see anything from Napoli.
You could say our only good player was Locatelli.
Yeah, but he was, good compared to crap. He played quick passes. He played forward passes, which was nice.
The whole thing we might say, I can say, with Locatelli, you see some quality. A little bit
let's
of
hope
quality.
we don't ruin him.
Let's just say so, we not ruin him too.
Because you see what's happened to De Ligt after 2 years being on Juventus, right? Like, you play with enough of these scrubs for a while.
Yeah.
Listen.
And they say Napoli played good. Wow, the game was suck. Napoli didn't play well. I saw all other game and they play. I enjoy Roma Sassuolo.
Every other game was better.
Every other game was better.
So Roma Sassuolo could have finished 5-5, 5-6. Whoever could have win. Hey, what do we do?
Yeah.
And listen, this is the problem. When you don't have a dominant team, when you have a flawed team, you have to make the most of everything you have. And the fact of the matter is, if we had Buffon instead of Szczesny, or even Perrin instead of Szczesny, we would have 5 more points right now, or 4 more points right now.
Yeah, I think realistically to say they would have 4 more points.
Hey, guys.
That makes a difference.
Hey, guys, and from now on, the defense is going to cry when the ball gets there.
It is. It's worrisome. Listen, I remember playing on teams where we had crappy goalies, and anytime the ball went to the goalie, even if he had to do a goal kick, it was like, oh, Christ, this guy's got the ball.
Did I fumble?
It gets to you. Like, you have to just work that much harder because you don't
So
trust
here's
the guy
another
who's
thing,
back
too.
there.
Who's the Juventus goalie coach? Because, for the last 20 years, they didn't have to worry about it. They had Buffon, right? But at what point does a guy go, listen, mentally, your footwork sucks, you're crossing over, you
I
get both
think-
hands on the ball, you drop it down, you
Oh.
don't know when to deflect it out. What are
Frank.
they doing?
The player, they're all professional. Nobody talk. Nobody say anything. But how you think they feel with that guy in the behind?
Chesney's a skilled goalkeeper. It's all mental right now with him.
It's
He's
mental
got a
with him
block,
right now.
so
But that's
maybe
part
he
of the
needs a
coaching
week
staff.
or two. He needs a week or two to relax, watch the game from the sideline, and work on his stuff in practice, and come back stronger. Because right now it's
agree
not
with
working.
that. However, I have one difference. I agree with that. Give him a week or two off. But here's the thing: if Perrin comes in and plays good, you don't get your role back. You don't. Get
Yeah,
your role
so
back.
what?
You-
So what?
that's
What
fine.
is
Then
we
it's your
never?
fault.
It's
Well,
a
I
good.
just we have a goal that play good.
I
It's
don't
a good
understand.
problem to have.
It's such
They were
a,
willing
he
to
stole
treat
some
Buffon-
confidence in the defense. Come
They
on.
were willing to treat Buffon like crap, let him go play at PSG, and then bring him back as a reserve, right? Buffon, the greatest probably goalie of all time, played on a team for somebody. Now Chesney, we have to be loyal to, and he can't come out.
Yeah, it makes you scratch your head, honestly.
It doesn't make any sense. It
Yeah.
really doesn't. Is Allegri
How
trying to prove that?
Allegri think he give a trust again to do shit? How Allegri think if he does another papera?
It's probably going to happen at this point because mentally, it's in the back of his head. Here's the thing: I don't want to let the rest of the team off the hook because it wasn't. Yes, Chesney had the most blatant mistakes that cost us points.
The rest
But
of
the rest of the team sucks. Let's be real.
Listen,
The rest of the team also
guys,
sucks.
Allegri, as a good coach, he should have come talk to Chesney one-on-one and say, listen, you don't have a good form right now. Relax for 3-4 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, if you
It's
want
up
to
to
save,
him.
if you want to save his face for him, you don't want to make him get a ton of criticism, right? A smart coach goes to him and go, look, you're not in form right now. I'm going to tell them you have a pulled hamstring. You're not even going to dress for 2 weeks. I'm just going to say you're injured, right? And I'm going to put in Perrin so you can.
I don't even think it has to go that far.
Benched.
I don't even think it has to go that far.
But I'm saying
It's
that's
just
the only thing I can consider that they won't give Perrin a shot is because they're worried about making Chesney the scapegoat, right? Making
Hey,
Starting
Frank,
tomorrow.
Frank, Chesney is 30 years old? He's not like a kid.
No.
I think he think the mistake he made in 2-3 games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, when you think about the mistake you make in 2-3 games, you don't feel comfortable. You go there with the scared. You are scared to make another one. Himself, he know this thing.
So, bottom line,
Nobody
guys.
say, hey, what happened if I make another mistake? They're going to kill me.
Oh, I don't know. He's got the faith.
that's
He's
the
got
way-
the faith
That's
of the
you go
coach.
ahead,
So
think.
he can do whatever he wants, apparently. Bottom line, Napoli has 9 points. Juventus has 1 point.
Yeah, but never mind the point. Never mind the
What do you
point.
mean? And you could lose the season this quickly. It could be out of reach. They play Milan next week. Think of it that way. Milan,
you know
who's
what
looking
they say?
fantastic.
You know what they say? Allegri know what to do. He even won a championship. He was 15 points, and then he won for 9 points. Enough. By that time, he had the team. Now you don't have a team.
Listen, and they said the same crap about Pirlo. Pirlo's a champion. He's gonna know what to do. Listen, Allegri was no Grand K with the first time we had him. Let's face it, we were never a hitting team that's hit the field and you're like, wow, look at this. They're playing total football up and down, 38 chances. That was not how they played. But now he's got a team that, let's face it, is very, very limited. Their margin of error is so small that, and I don't have faith in him improving anyone.
I'm
When
asking
they were,
Empoli for Jesus Christ.
when we won the championship,
What do you say
when
about
we pick up 15 points and we went to 9 points, we have the team and we won 27 game in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
With
Stop
this
living
team,
in
you
the-
think you have 27
Stop living in
win
the
in a
past.
row?
Yeah, this is not. I mean, what'd you say about Empoli, Chris?
I was just saying all I'm asking is for them to beat a team like Empoli. That's all I want. Like Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's the deal. I think the other teams, I don't think there's going to be any runaway winners with it, but I think there's some clear better teams than Juventus.
100%.
And I don't think Allegri is the coach who's going to make us make the gap up because he's so tactically brilliant or our team is so great together the way we play. I think you're going to get a bunch of this. They're going to win a couple games. They're going to lose a couple games. They're going to tie a shitty team. They're going to beat a good team. That's what's going to
I
happen.
saw Fiorentina. Fiorentina, they start to play from the bottom. They used to. I mean, they look good. All the
We're
other
gonna-
teams.
yeah,
They look
Italiano.
We're
like
going to talk about them.
Italiano.
All right, final thoughts on this game because we got to move on to other stuff.
I'm done.
Anybody?
I'm done with it.
You're done with them, Chris?
My
What do you got,
my
Frank?
final thoughts are not so much that they're 8 points behind after 3 weeks, right, and they're fighting for relegation right now. I don't think they're going to end up in relegation, but I think they're going to be very lucky to even compete for Champions League. To be honest with you, but I think
keep going. Go ahead.
But I think
You know what I think. You know what I think. I think we're not going to get it to fourth place.
Okay, but let Frank finish his point, and then you can talk.
I think the real problem is we're seeing the last 5 to 7 years of poor management that we've been saying every time you've let a good young player go for little money, you've kept a scrub, you've signed the wrong guy, you've spent all this money on the wrong people to $190 million loss last year. The problem I have is I don't see the positive at the end of the tunnel. Like, I don't know if this is a 1 year bad year. If they would have came at the beginning of the year and said, guys, transition. We're playing all young kids. We're probably going to come in 15th or 10th, but we're going to get better next year. I'd have more confidence and be more excited than watching these guys play all year.
That's never going to happen at Juventus, and know it's not.
That's because they don't have good management.
Hey, what do we play? Tomorrow we play for the championship.
Yeah, we'll go over the Champions League schedule, but they do play tomorrow. Yeah.
Really quickly.
Hey, guys, the team, you save the team when the team play good. By the way I see, if we save about 4, 5 of these people for next year, that's enough.
That's what should happen, but they won't be able to do that because of the salaries and the lack of money they have.
Because we have a Bonucci, Chiellini, they old. Whatever you say, they old.
And they're one of the savable ones. Listen, the only way you can do it.
You want to save the Chilio?
No, I don't want to save any of these people. I can give you a list of people to save if you were building a good team. If you were building a good team, the people you would save are Locatelli, Chiesa, Dybala, De Ligt.
That's it.
Am I missing anyone? No, because he's 31, 32. But yeah, you can keep him. Whatever.
1 year, 2 years.
But that's it. But the problem is, those are also the only people with value. So honestly, the better way to fix this team would be sign Dybala, extend his contract, and sell him. Sell De Ligt for $100 million or whatever you can get, if you can get any money for him, and buy yourself 5, 6 good young players.
What are you talking about? Buy? We bought a Rovella. If we had guts, we put on the roster.
Okay, well,
if we knew what we were talking about,
he could be one, right? But he's not going to be your entire team.
You had the Fagioli, even the other guy. He doesn't have guts to put a young guy too.
But again, it's not even him; it's management. None of these guys were even on the team. They loaned them all out.
I can't with this team.
All right, Chris. Final thought.
Just really quickly, let's just shout out to Murata for winning me $110. That's all I want to say.
At least that was anything. And by the way, the producer's really breaking my balls, telling me to go to the next segment.
We are going to the next segment because I don't want to talk about this team anymore. My final thought is Ronaldo had 2 goals this weekend for Manchester United. Let's go to another game. Dom, pick a game. I don't care which one you go to. This is the late game. This is the last game on Sunday. Rome versus Sassuolo, 2-1. Rome victory. This game, I didn't watch this game with Daddy, but I went to his house yesterday, and we were talking about this game, and we said the same exact thing. When I was saying to him some things that I noticed, and he was saying some things. This game, first of all, could have ended any 3 results. It could have been Rome win, tie, or Sassuolo win. It was back and forth. It was so entertaining compared to the crap that we watched Saturday with Juventus.
Sassuolo had the better chance than Roma.
Yeah, Sassuolo had really good. So for
The
me,
good chance.
Patricio has already paid his made his mark on the team, and his value is already. He's already been worth the money that they spent.
Would
He
Rome
made
have won if they still had Chesney?
no, Szczesny wouldn't have made those saves. He made it was 2-1 Rome over Sassuolo. He made really quality saves, like good saves. So right there, he saved them a few times. For me, I like that they're starting Raspadori on Sassuolo's side. I like that they're giving him a chance. They took him out at halftime. They put Scamacca in, which I don't mind that they put Scamacca in, but I want to see Raspadori and Scamacca play together. I think they would play really well off each other because they're two different types of forwards.
Don't forget they have a Traore to the reserve.
Yeah. Traore came in. He blasted one off the post late in the game.
They come in and they play good. We have our player. They come in and they play bad.
Like I was nervous for Sassuolo because they lost their coach, they lost players, but like Frattesi, who took over Locatelli's spot, he's a quality player. Like he can move the ball, he runs nonstop. He's Maxime Lopez improves every game. Ruggiero and Tolzien really well in the wings.
I don't like from Sassuolo, Kirish.
Yeah. Oh, Kirikesh,
I want to get somewhere better than that.
That's been their issue for years. Their central defense isn't strong. If
they had the Magnani or somebody else,
they have a good goalie. Yeah. Berardi on the wing is good. Boga is lightning on the side. You know, he makes bonehead mistakes every once in a while.
They have two exciting players at Juventus. I mean, we have our own version with Chiesa, but you just need players.
Hey, what happened to Kulovesc? What happened to him?
He sucks.
But anyway, Rome, they scored a goal on a free kick, which is a nice set play that they did. It was on the side, and Pellegrini just kind of put a through ball, slid it through to Cristante. Nice finish.
That free kick had experienced defense that would never.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sassuolo's defense isn't good. They fell asleep on that play.
Defense.
Yeah,
they would know you can go throw the ball in.
They were expecting just a cross. That they didn't expect just a quick through ball.
The center. You should have got a cut in there. Come on.
And that's going to be Sassuolo's issue the entire season. Their defense, because offensively they're very, very dangerous, very, very good. Rome also, the second goal was Shomurodov came in. It was a cross to him. He laid the ball off to El Shaarawy, and he scored a beautiful goal, far post off the far post to curler, and that was in the 91st minute. And look, they got 9 points too, and they've played attractive soccer, like entertaining.
And 9 points or not, you have to see the way they play.
I just told you they're playing well.
The problem with Juventus, you know where is the problem? Not the 8 points. There is the 5-6 team in front of them. So you can pick up one. You cannot.
There's 15 teams ahead of them right now. What was I going to say? I was going to mention something else. So that's without Zaniolo hasn't had really a good game yet. You know, he's still working his way back in, and he'll be improving.
But they play. They can do something anytime. Those play.
Yeah. At any moment they can do something.
They don't like Kulovesc or Bernardeschi.
No, even Abraham that they bought, we've been saying he looks pretty good. I mean, they have good players, right? I mean, they have to put it together. Cristante's been growing since the
he played
good. Yeah,
he's been. He played really good yesterday.
The confidence he's gotten on the national team is carrying over to the club team.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they're also not playing him at center defense where they used to.
Yeah.
Pellegrini's been really, really. I don't know if you. I don't know. Did you watch this game yesterday, Frank?
Pellegrini's
I only saw a few minutes of this.
Pellegrini's amazing. I mean, if he could, he had a couple of chances yesterday. He could have put in 2 or 3 by himself.
Oh, and Roma was missing center defense. Spelling, come si chiama?
Smalling. Well, here's the thing. Their biggest.
Not that good, though.
Their biggest loss is Spinazzola. They don't have him yet. Come on, when he comes back, If he can run like he ran
before, he's not going to really be back to the second half of the year.
I mean, 4 months from his injury, they're going to be out. So,
you know also what I like when people talk, they still think Juventus has a good roster.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think so.
No, you look at all these teams, every team you go into.
Yeah.
And I know we're jaded because
you can never have the player, but you cannot call a good roster.
No, I agree. I mean, Dan just went over a bunch of players and all these teams, and you're like, in terms of midfield at least, all these Knicks games you're going to put up the cards for, these midfields are way better than Juventus. Like they just are.
Very incomplete.
I mean, but I even like the formation that these teams play more than Juventus. I like the 3 underneath the 1 forward, and you have different people who can interchange and make runs. Like these teams play like that. Juventus just doesn't do anything. Anyway, I don't want to talk about them, but I just like even tactically, I like to see these teams better. You know, Mourinho's usually a defensive coach, but he has so many offensive weapons that he can use here that like you're bound to score goals with these guys.
Don't forget this conversation we used to do when Allegri won the 3 championship.
Well, we used to say what?
We weren't happy.
Yeah, we said
the way we're playing.
Yeah, but he had talent on the team at least.
Well, I think really for Rome, what it's going to come down to is can players like Mancini in the middle of the defense take a step forward to become that much more solid in the middle?
He's improved for sure.
He had a good game.
I've liked Mancini, but I think he's still not Kyer, right? Or somebody
Ibanez is not good.
No, he's good, but they're not the.
They like them. They like them.
I don't think they're gonna right now. They have to prove to me that they can go 8-10 games and give up no goals.
Their biggest issue to me, and it's been for the last 3 seasons, has been goalie, and they've improved 100-fold in that position.
You know what it is? When we talk about player, when we refer now player still on Chiellini. So what did this tell you?
He's still. Everyone else sucks.
We're not having a team.
Yeah, but listen, I think like for them in Italy, the team that ends up winning it is the team that could string together in 10 games. They can go 5-6 games without giving up a goal, right? I think in the end, especially when you have all these good teams, it's the team that can win a bunch of games 1-0.
Frank,
I don't know if Rome's that team yet.
To win like that and not to get to goal, you have to have a good goalie, good defense, a good midfield. Never mind the
that's what I mean. You need a complete team. And I don't know. I'm just
so
saying.
You don't have no good goal, no good defense.
Well, forget about Juventus. Juventus is not a title contender. They're not. Juventus is lucky to make the Euro Cup.
This will tell you the mentality Allegri to go to play with these people's defense is a killer.
Well, they also, in fairness, they also don't have the players to attack either. So it's pretty bad.
No, they do. They do if you make them attacking.
But
all right.
But Rome, I don't know. Do you guys think they have the roster that could be under Mourinho? They can put together 10 games where they give up 2 goals.
Yeah, I think to get defensively to be as good as you're saying.
Yeah, because I think offensively they have talent. I think they can score consistent goals.
I don't know. It's hard to see. If they get one injury in the middle of the back and in the center defense, you're going to see Cristante back there again.
Sassuolo Roma. Don't forget, it was a good game. But on Roma side, the Veretout didn't do nothing, which is the best in that Roma. And that game, he didn't do nothing.
And they still won.
They still won.
They won, but also, what did you guys say at the beginning of this game? Sassuolo had better chances, right? And that's the part that I said,
both teams had really good chances. That's
the part that they have to prove they can't. You can't. Otherwise, you become outlanded, right? We scored 3 goals, but we can give up 3 goals. So, you have to have both. Inter last year, that's why they won. They played 10, 12 games in a row that they sucked. They won nothing all the time.
They were the most complete team, yeah.
Yeah. That's why they win. And that's why Juventus won a lot of championships. So, can Rome do it? I don't know, maybe. I just haven't seen it
yet. Speaking of Inter, let's go over to their game, which was a Saturday morning, 6:30 a.m. on the East Coast. I woke up for it. I'm a closet Inter fan. I
also saw the second half of this.
Inter had the lead twice in this game, and Samp tied it up. So this game ended 2-2. Really impressive. Samp was really impressive, especially on their wings. I'll say this.
Candreva.
Well, so here's the thing. I'll say this. Their team is so old, but I love their team. Like Kondreva, everyone gave him crap when he was on Inter, but that guy runs nonstop forward and puts the ball in the box constantly.
Yeah, he's a worker.
Their entire offense goes through him. They have geezers up top with Quags and Caputo. Like, they have the oldest team in the world, but I love them. Like, and you picked them as their dark horse this season. Pietro picked them as his dark horse, saying that, they can actually make some noise, if they get things together. Like, that was a solid game from them. Their defense, Berezzinski and Ogello played great on the wings. It was a solid performance.
I was a little disappointed because I wanted to see the guy that Juventus loaned out to them, the young guy.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even dress.
But I agree.
They didn't even dress him?
No, he didn't dress. He's just not ready, probably. I'm sure he's going to be there.
Kondreva is one of those soldiers, right? Like, he can't run for 90 minutes, and he probably can't play 40 games.
Hey, guys,
the time he does
why he doesn't even dress?
Because he's not ready. He just came to the team. Give him a week.
Yeah, but I hope this Sampdoria doesn't start to leave him.
Listen, I'm sure Juventus said this guy's got to play a little bit. I'm sure they didn't load him out to do nothing. He'll do that at Juventus.
Because that was a two beautiful goals. The free kick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
it's DeMarco, but he scores the freaking nicest free kick in the world.
So DeMarco, I mean, he's been known for his free kicks.
I never liked that guy, though.
I know you hate him. He scored a beautiful left-footed shot, upper left corner. It
was a nice free kick.
It was impossible to stop.
The nice goals. So they kind of did what he was talking about, how you have to play Inter. Like, they were attacking those defenders in the back and putting pressure on them, and it worked. Like, I don't know how teams don't pick up on that and like say, hey, we need to. This is what works for us, Inter, and just keep going.
Not even just Inter.
But if you remember Inter Verona, when you play the first 20 minutes, they put a pressure into. They made him mistake and they score.
I agree. Frank was just about to say, it's not just Inter. Like, any team you press, they're going to make mistakes and they're not going to play as well. If you give any team all the time in the world, they're going to do way better than if you someone in their ass.
Big teams of Barcelona, right?
And this is go back when we talk about Juventus. If we don't go to defense and we go to attack, maybe they would get scared. If you put a kid in Morata, maybe they would be concerned.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, if you go back to Spain or the big days of Barcelona, right, if you let them play, they would score 6 goals on you. But if you give them less time, but you have to press organized as a team, right? 2 and 3 cut off space. You can't. If you press unorganized, one person at a time, you get stretched and they kill you too. So it's very hard. You have to move as a team, close the space, use the sidelines, right, as extra defenders, and you press them down, you create a turnover, and you go. But, like, if you let them play and take their time, do you remember the game Cones played Italy versus Spain when Spain was highly favored? And they said he was a genius because he had him press the Spain defenders instead of playing out of the back, and Spain all of a sudden couldn't come out of their half, right? And Italy won 2-1. It's because you give me time. If I'm a good player, I'm going to pick you apart. It's like if you watch the NFL and you have a good quarterback and the offensive line gives them 15 seconds to throw a pass. It doesn't matter how good you are covering; they're gonna score.
Like, it's easy to say to do, but obviously for a 90-minute game, it's very hard to keep up. So you have to pick and choose when you're going to do it, and tactically when it fits.
Either that, or you have to have a team physically fit who's able to
like
run,
Atalanta,
right? Like Atalanta this year.
Run nonstop.
The reason they're not playing good is because physically they're not the way they should be, right?
But Atalanta for his best, they come after.
Yeah, because I think it takes them a while.
There was a lot of championship. You look like they go down and then they pick up.
So just to finish on this game, I mean, I know we all said we woke up and watched this. The game kind of changed at the end, where if Inter had any thought of winning the game, they put Sensi in and used all 5 of the subs, and Sensi got hurt. And he tried to run around for 10 minutes and couldn't do anything, and then he finally hobbled off, and they were down 10 men. That kind of ruined the game for Inter.
I was saying the positive, right? Sampdoria, it was only 5 minutes. They were down. They were up a man, but at least the coach put in an extra forward.
Yeah, he went for it.
He could have easily said, you know what, I want to get out of here versus Inter with a point. I'm not going to do that, right? Instead, Allegri, we were losing, and he put in he took out a forward for a forward. Right? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Can't break that shape, man.
and credit to Sampdoria, right? Because I think they have a decent team. They're old, like Dan said,
They
but
do
I
have a
think they're
decent
old
team.
with the right type of player. Like Quagliarella's proved he has enough like cachet and he knows how to score. Candreva's a hard worker that when he plays can make a difference. They're not
They have the
old
young
teams.
talent. Like Damsgaard is full of talent.
Yeah,
Thorsby is a talented kid. Like they have a solid team. Yoshida and Kali, they can do their own. They can hold their own back there in the center. And Berezinski's improves every game. Ojela is more of an offensive defender, but he can help out and cross
listen,
the ball really well.
If the loanee that Juventus gave them at all is anyway decent, that could be a difference for a team like Sampdoria. If he comes in and becomes another Damsgaard in terms of like being dangerous and creative.
I know he picked him as a dark horse, but I would not be surprised. I mean, they're usually around 10th. They're usually around 10th. I mean, top 10 is definitely.
Hey, that guy will add them is good. Listen to me.
Well, hopefully you can play and you can help them even more.
Plus, as much as we say Caputo's corner, which we haven't had to mention, like I expect Caputo to score his goal this year.
Yeah, both of them had a bad game up front. Neither of them really did much. But if you throw the ball in the box to either of them, you're not going to find better finishers than those two.
Putina in the comments saying Samp will be above Juve by the end of the season. It's possible.
It's very possible.
It's possible. If you get a bunch of old people that have won everything and they give up, why not? What the hell?
So that leaves Inter at 7 points. So they dropped a little bit in the standings. Dom, go to another game that we have. I don't know which ones we got. Atalanta versus Fiorentina. We all picked. Nobody picked. We did this as one of our picks in our selections, and nobody picked Fiorentina. I think I'm the only one who picked the tie.
I think I picked the tie, didn't I?
Fiorentina won 2-1.
No, I said 3-2. Yeah.
Fiorentina won 2-1. 3 penalty shots in this game. Which penalty shots are. I hate penalty shots. They get called way too much.
Yeah.
This game was disappointing.
It was a little disappointing. I was actually glad for Fiorentina got the points for Italiano and stuff because they lost. What was it? Week 1 or week 2? They lost.
They lost the first game, and then they beat Torino last week.
I think they're coming. I think this is a perfect example of a good coach making a difference.
Yeah.
Tana 95 is here, Juventus relegation.
It might be.
We read that. So she also said she loves Vlahovic, which I don't blame her. The guy's a stud. He scores nonstop, and he's the reason I picked him to be top. It's the reason I picked him to be top goal scorer if he was staying in the league. He's gonna put the ball in the back of the net. He just does. So 2 goals for him. Yes, they were penalty shots, whatever. Zapata finally came back for Atalanta off his injuries. Also scored a penalty shot. Lucas Torreira started his first game for Fiorentina. They had a deep team. Like one of my favorite players, Amrabat, doesn't even start anymore for them. And that pisses me off because I really like him.
Hey,
Castrovilli on the bench, Amrabat on the bench.
If I'm wrong, but I think Atalanta is not play the ball.
He's hurt.
Yeah,
Daru.
Since he don't play, he don't play good.
He's been suspended.
Daru makes a difference there. They did get Freuler back though.
I can't tell you though. Go
ahead. The ball when they play together, they do the midfield.
No, yeah,
and you see this two, the ball and Freuler. You don't see them that much. They don't touch the ball too much.
No, they're good. They make a difference. They make a difference.
Chris, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, they put the kid Coop Myers in, the new kid.
He played well.
He played good. He came in as a sub, and he made a difference. My issue with their formation right there, you see, Pasalic is not good that far back in the field. He needs to be up further. He needs to be more of an attacking role. He doesn't play as good when he's in a more reserved role.
Yeah,
like that.
I can criticize now that I'm seeing it on paper. I can criticize, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank here? Gasparini, right? I can criticize him a bit because if you look at that midfield the way it's put, Pessina, Marinchuk, and Pulisic, they're all more offensive players, right? Mm-hmm. That usually are kind of like they want to go make runs into the box. And that is right. Freuler and Darun, they create that double pivot point for this team that usually allows people like Gosens and people run up and down. Yeah. And not having them is making a difference. And then And then
You're-
also they're just not in shape. They're not in form. Any of the players are not in form. Like they're
You're
not
also
outrunning
forgetting
the team.
they're missing, I think, their best plair, Muriel. So just keep that in mind.
Well,
Well,
they're
Muriel
missing
got hurt.
Gosens, but Muriel is the second best player.
And the middle. Well,
Demiral didn't play. I mean, yeah, he was like he played 3 games for Turkey this week, so he got the day off, and they have Champions League.
he
coming
got
up.
day
But
off.
still, again, now-
Allegri can give a day off to Chest.
But again, let's be fair. Like I think I may have given the curse to Juventus and Atalanta because I picked Atalanta 1, Juventus 2 at the beginning of the season before it started, right? Before the last 2 days of the transfer window, where Ronaldo left and everything else that happened with the other teams. But they have a hell of a roster, and they can't.
Mhm.
If you want a team like Atalanta, you have to be able to replace a Muriel or a Gosens or.
Well, listen, he replaced him with Zapata. I mean, he's not exactly a scrub.
And that's why I
Listen.
think more of their issues are Darun and the lack of they're not in shape. They're not outrunning every other team the way they did when they play well. Where they press.
I'm not worried about Atalanta.
I'm not
No,
either.
me neither. I think they're
I'm not worried about
it.
I think tomorrow against Villarreal, I think they're going to have a really strong performance, and they're going to win that game.
Well, why do you think tomorrow? You think it's just going to be Champions League?
I think they show up in the Champions League.
Hey, Christopher, whatever you say, Atalanta, the form or whatever, but at least they have a game. They try to attack.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not worried about them.
Juventus
their weakness is still what we would wish Juventus had. That's for sure. But I was looking for Atalanta to make a jump, right? A continuous jump. And you got to get the players into that physical level that the other team just can't keep up with if you want to have that beautiful game that, every game.
Yeah. I think it'll get there.
Yeah, but if you think about Atalanta, there you miss Muriel, which is good. You miss the ball, which is you miss Gosens.
Darun, Gosens. Yeah.
Darun, Gosens, Musso didn't play.
Gosens.
Their team's freaking good.
Never mind Romero that you sold.
Romero, who they sold. And by the way, I the more and more I see Toloi, I'm not really impressed.
I'm not a huge fan of his.
I don't think even when I see Toloi on the Italian national team, he's a defender, but there's a lot like him.
He's one of Atalanta's better defenders, but he doesn't impress me.
I agree with
I
you.
think I like Palomino a little bit better in the right day than Toloi on his better day.
I agree with you.
Frank. I go around. If you see those 3 defense, right? 3 defense. That Romero make a difference in there in the middle.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because they are all the same. But Romero can concentrate all 3 of them.
Listen, I agree with you, Frank. And I know we always compare to Juventus, but give me Toloi at right back, then De Sciglio.
Yes. If that's your argument, I agree 100%.
So that's what I'm saying.
But,
it's like,
I mean, that's the stupid.
Give me Frank at right back instead of
give me 212 pounds overweight like I am right now. And I'll still do the same. I mean, come on. Yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, I think that was a problem for Atalanta defense. Romero helps solve it for them last year, and I think we all think Demiral can help maybe do that again for them this year. But without that, the funny thing is, do you see Gasparini afraid to play 3 defenders, even with the 3 that he has? They're not that great. He plays them.
No, but that's his tactic.
Frank, the middle is good. But compared to Romero, there is a big difference between.
Well, they're different, yeah.
Romero is cool. Romero is cool. He can keep the cool in the fence.
Yeah.
The middle, no.
All right. Well, we have. So just on the bottom there, I put Vlahovic in the 2021 calendar year has 20 goals. There's only 3 players in the world who have in the top five leagues who have more goals in the 2021 calendar year: Lewandowski, Messi, and Haaland. The only 3 players who have scored more goals in 2021 than Vlahovic.
So did you guys just have to remind me that years ago Juventus had their eyes on Haaland and decided not to spend about $30 million?
No, they wanted him on loan.
Yeah,
how ridiculous
they wanted
is
him
that?
on loan, only to spend $45 million for Kowaleski the next year.
Well, it wasn't the following year, but yeah. So we have to pick it up and go a little faster because it's storming like crazy outside, and we're about to lose power.
You compare to the same deal we did with Bernardeschi.
Yeah, it's the same.
All right, Dom, go to the next game. We'll go to Lazio, Milan. This game I got wrong in my selections. I thought Lazio would. Lazio to me, so this game was Milan 2, Lazio 0. Lazio was just as bad as Juventus, and I'll tell you why I thought they were so bad. Their midfield was non-existent. They were atrocious. Kessie shadowed Milinkovic-Savic. He couldn't do anything. Anywhere he went, Kessie was all over him the entire game.
He was Savic. I've been saying for a year or two, he's overrated.
He was taken out of the game so easily. It was disgusting.
Here's Milinkovic-Savic. You know what he is? Milinkovic-Savic is a champion when their team is playing good and they have space to play the ball. And he likes to play and show off. In a hard game, he gets beat by the other team's midfield every single time.
Guys, sorry. At the end of the game,
you got a red card.
Say we gave it too much space and we didn't push up. And why you there for?
They were awful, dude. It was bad.
So here's the thing.
Why did he get the red?
Why don't you say
he made a comment to Salamancas and he got a red card. He was going out.
Like,
I don't
saw
know.
the fight, but I couldn't.
No, you say you have to respect the people. You don't know what you say.
Ibra kind of tried to calm him down.
What I'm saying, he got a note in there, put a note aside, right? He said the mistake is we let them play, and we play behind and back. So you're there. Let's push the middle.
Yeah, make an adjustment. He made no adjustments.
Well, what do you think?
So they made Tonali look like a god. That was the best game I've ever seen Tonali play.
He was good.
He was very, very good.
Well, and again, this goes back to what I've been saying. I think Tonali is talk about Szczesny being mental. I think Tonali all of last year, how bad he was playing, just made him. He couldn't make a 5-yard pass without messing up. And I think he had a decent game. Like a week ago, or the first.
Yeah, no, the last couple of weeks he's been playing good.
And now look, he's building a little bit. I don't know if it's going to build all year, but
I think confidence. Well, you don't have a confidence, but when you do make a mistake, Frankie. You get a confidence. You don't get a confidence. You lose a confidence.
No. Yeah, but
so
that's what.
What's the remedy to do that? Take a rest. Take a 2-3 week vacation, and come back with your mind.
But also, the best athletes, they have that mental fortitude, right, to fight through it, and not just crumble.
Frankie, some people, you know what? Question too. Who used to say, we don't know what's going on in mind in his head. He can have a problem with the family, with the wife or something.
I mean, you never know that stuff.
That's why
you have to rest.
That's why all these teams have sports psychologists now and all these things, because there's a lot of mental stuff going on as you hear the thunder in the background.
Why is it raining by you, by the way?
It's thunderstorming. It's really bad over here.
And listen, this was
bad weather, right?
They had to play Romagnoli.
Thunder here.
They had to play Romagnoli, and they still managed to not give up.
Romagnoli looks good.
He played a strong game too. Yeah, he
because
played
when
good.
your team plays well, you play well. When your team plays bad, they all suck.
It's everything relative, because Lazio, if you play like Lazio, Milan doesn't look that good.
Yeah, but again, I think this goes back to, we all say, like, Lazio has these great midfielders, right? They're all good with their feet, blah, blah, blah. But this is the problem I have with, like, people like Milinkovic-Savic. I don't think they're a guy that takes his team when it's a battle and grabs them by the collar and goes, we're going to win.
It's like you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's too nonchalant.
He is the guy who goes, put me in the game that's 4-0 because I want to score too.
Well, a lot like we used to criticize. We used to criticize Pogba all the time.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Dan. Exactly like Pogba.
So
I wanted Davids, a Deschamps, even Conte to a certain aspect. When we're getting our asses kicked, they fucking pick the guy up and go, listen, wake up, right? Like that's what you need. Not when things are going well. Pass me the ball, I'll have an assist.
See, also, when the game it's easy, you see like they do utaku.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, come on.
I don't need players like that.
To kill Lazio.
Why do you think Kessie ate Milinkovic-Savic's lunch? Because Kessie's a player who puts in the work and is going to.
Oh yeah, his whole demeanor is way different.
That's why I'd rather have a player like Kessie in midfield every day of the week than a champion like Milinkovic-Savic who wants to do back heel and the cute play when the game's going well.
Kessie missed a penalty this game too, right?
He did. He missed. He hit the crossbar in a penalty. Even still, I thought he played a good game. Tonali was great with him. And they had Bakayoko and Benacer on the bench. Like, their team is so stacked. It's ridiculous.
And look,
So
Hernandez
from
and
this, you tell, compare this with whoever Juventus. Well,
it's a
It's
night
not
and
tell
day.
you who's the
Night
better
and day.
team.
I mean, listen, Calabria and Hernandez versus Deschilio
Listen,
and
Calabria is the best right back in the league.
Okay,
Like, his
did I not
defense-
say Calabria is good 2-3 years ago? I mean, you guys like don't even listen.
But he's
to me. I'm
always
not on the
hurt.
show.
You have to
No,
understand.
Frank, he's actually playing now, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
But
You said
Calabria, I
that.
said Calabria is a big improvement over what even Italy had with Di
He's-
Lorenzo.
He's
It's
great.
a
I
big
can't wait.
improvement.
I can't wait
Frank,
till he actually plays.
Frank, Calabria is that good. They put him sometimes midfield.
I
Yeah.
understand.
You know that?
I've been a huge Calabria fan since when Conti was also on the team. When they got Conti from Atalanta, and I said
Atalanta.
Calabria is good. Conti can be good. Conti never got injured. He never. But Calabria has been underrated for a long time.
Good
That
player.
guy won his spot because they tried.
Calabria
Yeah,
is
Calabria.
100 times better than him.
Calabria is 100 times better.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
put the Euros team with Italy with Spinazzola on one side and Calabria on the other, you have a way more dynamic team.
Well, to be fair, he would have played. He was injured. He couldn't play
Yeah.
the tournament.
The problem is you need a backup Spinazzola and a backup Calabria of the same quality.
Yeah, good luck. One last
That's
thing on
what you
Lazio, because I want to bash them a little bit more.
So
On
the
their second
Calabria
goal,
backup could be De Lorenzo Toloi.
But they're not the same level. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, but it
They're
cannot
not-
be the same.
Oh, they
You
could
cannot
if
be
you're-
the same.
Okay, so just to bash Lazio a little bit more, Ibra came in. Not that he was overly great or impressive, but the defense from Acerbi in the middle, not marking him. Talk about a national defender who just totally fell asleep. You know,
Cherby's
defensively,
overrated.
yeah, I think he's overrated too. But I mean, it was a walk-in, tap-in goal because he just let Ibra do whatever the hell he
I
wanted.
didn't see that goal, but was it a remake of what Acerbi did versus Bulgaria and Italy? Because I criticized him on that time. Because that's the difference between a Chiellini in the middle